Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
The high street retailer Next has warned of tougher conditions in the year ahead amid uncertainty over Brexit and a squeeze on consumer spending. Shares in the company fell sharply today after reporting poor sales in the 2 months up to Christmas, down 0.4%. Our business correspondent Emma Simpson reports.
The festive season, it's when the tills really should be ringing. But it's been a difficult one for Next, one of our biggest clothing chains. Their Christmas results are seen as a bellwether for the high street.
The high street's struggling with the switch from actual selling in stores to selling online. Struggling with coping with Black Friday, which is taking more trade than Christmas. But at the same time, Next itself is struggling because the big growth area in Next has been the directory. And that slowed right down, but to have such a disappointment from one of the stronger retailers first thing is clearly not good news.
But as always, some will do better than others. The signs are that it's been decent for John Lewis. Its department stores saw a surge in sales in the final week. Consumers haven't stopped spending, but we have been spending less on what we wear and more on what we do.
Record players for my parents and just little bits and bobs, and that's it. Usually I don't buy anything, so
gadgets and everything nowadays, it's, you know, so yeah, it has become a lot more expensive.
We will be reining it in the new year.
2016 was tough for Next, but it's warning this year will be even tougher with what it describes as exceptional levels of uncertainty. It says profits will be hit and that the devaluation of the pound after the EU referendum vote will push up its prices by 5%. And the industry's trade body also thinks the going's going to get tougher.
2017 is going to be a really challenging year for retailers. On the one hand, you've got prices going up, which means consumers aren't going to be able to buy as much in shops, which is bad for both retail and the wider economy, as consumer spending is the biggest driver of economic growth in the UK. Retailers are also going to experience a rising cost of doing business from the national living wage and from business rates as well. And all this is going to happen at a time of massive political and economic uncertainty.
For now, though, the question is, has Next fared better or worse than its rivals in a market more crowded and competitive than ever? The full Christmas story will unfold in the coming days. Emma Simpson, BBC News.
As we all count the cost of Christmas, there are signs that prices are now starting to rise because of the fall in the value of the pound. We were talking about it with Narina on this programme last night. The scale of our spending on the high street and online is starting to come through, and to pay for it, we borrowed at the fastest rate for more than 11 years.
Prices may be being slashed right now, but the lead up to Christmas saw the highest rise in prices on the high street in 2 years. New research from the group representing British retailers revealed a month-on-month increase of 0.6%. And it's not going to stop there.
But I would expect price increases this year of between 2 and 3%. The currency devaluation that happened in the wake of Brexit is a big contributing factor to price increases. But there have been other things going on as well. From the beginning of 2016, we actually saw commodity prices beginning to rise.
Today Next, a retailer traditionally the bellwether of what's to come, warned that its prices could rise by as much as 5% this year because of rising input costs.
It's not a matter of if or when. Prices are already going up. The big question is, will people now tighten their belts and spend less, or will they borrow more and take on more debt?
The amount we're borrowing is already rising rapidly. Total consumer credit went up by £1.9 billion in November, the biggest monthly rise since before the financial crisis. Over the course of last year, borrowing went up by more than 10%. In total, we now owe more than £190 billion on credit cards and loans, and that doesn't even include mortgages.
These figures soaring, going up month on month are a matter of concern, particularly at a time when we know that the economy is in a difficult place and inflation's likely to pick up during the year.
The potentially toxic combination of rising prices and more credit card debt is for some already a reality.
I'm definitely using my credit card more times than I've ever done in my life.
And are you worried about that?
Of course I'm worried because I know how it can affect me if I don't keep up with the payments, if I'm not keeping everything in check. But at the same time, there's things I need to buy, food at home, I need to buy clothing. And most importantly, you've got your younger siblings that you're trying to obviously look after as well. So it's quite difficult to make that decision of do I want to be in trouble today or do I want to actually help me live tomorrow?
In this year of economic uncertainty, it's a question that many people will be asking themselves. Narina Hertz, News at 10.
I've been getting away with it.